Hey guys, it's Alchemist from Endgame. I hope you're well, and I wanted to show you my mage as it's a 200 staff mage, and most of the meta now is working with catalysm and daggers. This one is with a staff, so I managed to do expedition 180. And it's quite good, fast clear, you got a lot of sustain, so I hope you do enjoy this build, and forgive me if I have a French baguette accent. I hope that you will still be able to understand the content, and if you still have some questions, just feel free to ask me. About the build, about statistic, you put 80% in Ferocity and 20% in toughness. The main difference in the number is that I have a statistic given by the stuff on Ferocity and not much on toughness, but the basic is 80-20. About the stuff, you will be looking for armor with full resistance and a helm with full resistance too. For the rest of the parts, you will get heals and resistance, and you just don't take this one for the passives that I will show you after. About the duels, you will go for added damage to spells and life if you can, or resistance is also good. For example, on this one I have some resistance, damage to spell and heals. The same for my amulet. And for the staff, you will go for add damage to spell. If you can get 3 rolls on this one, I just have 2 rolls. I got the lightning damage and shadow damage, which is okay, but you will definitely need a one with a 3 roll of damage at the spell, because it's the biggest DPS that you want to have. About the spell themselves, the tier is the Rain of Fire, so it just burn everything with fire, and you got the ailment from burning. The plagueburst is the fire version with the explosion and the globe. It look like that. About the bulwark, you will have mainly sustain and a buff to increase the resistance, increase duration, and the damage on the area. About the Ethiel jump, don't take this rune if you manage to. If you are in late game, don't take this one anymore. You should have enough cooldown. If it's not the case, you can still go for that one, but in my case, for example, I will show you how I TP. I'm just like very fast, and I don't need to have this mana which is just killed if you take this rune. As you can see, I can blink a lot and still have a lot of mana, so I don't need to spam my potions. I got about 120% of cooldown, so it's a little bit, but well, if you are in game, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. The solar flare will give you a nice DPS for the one target, but also a buff. The buff is a little bit crazy. I will show you after how it works. And the anomaly. The anomaly, it's you have the combo with the globe and the pull. So basically you just cast it, and it will combo with the plagueburst, which is dropping globes. And when you have globes, you pull them into the anomaly and it explodes. So I will show you the buff. As you can see, I got a lot of resistance. I got like 20+k for each one, which are almost 90% in every resistance. And then when I cast my solar flare, I'm at 23, 25, 21, 25, 27, 23. So it's plus 2k on resistance, and the bulwark is plus 1k. So if you stack them both, you got plus 3k on every resistance, so it's quite good. And you can just stay AFK damaging the boss if you stay in these two effects. About the passive, the one interesting are this one where you got a lot of criticals. Here you will have the cabalist. It's a +2 if you go for cabalist, and everything cabalist is here. It will help you to get more elements. After you have the poison here, This one is the salvatory anchor, which is why you need to have a helm and an armor based on our resistance, as it will double your resistance on these parts. And this one is a siege breaker. It's not a lot played currently, but it's really strong. When you just take a look, it's 6% damage per point and 10% all resistance per point. So when I got 10 points, I got 60% more damage and 100% to every resistance. So it's really crazy. For example, if you don't have this, my resistance would be like 15k. So it's really a great buff. And as I don't need to move, if you see, I'm very slow because it's half my movement speed. But as I'm blinking all the time, I really don't need this movement speed. And I can also roll. If you need, you can roll, as it doesn't take into account the movement speed. After you get some life leash, this one is for the damage, to increase damage when you have nearby enemies. This one is a Chill of Fury, so you will apply burning stacks with the tier of Ethiel, and it will explode, so it's more damage on one target. This one are also great. The stasis, when you blink, that you apply will just double your damage, so they take twice the hit that you do. So I let you imagine how strong it is. And this one is also very strong, as you don't get one shot because you take 14% of the damage first and then 1 second after 16%. And as in this build, it's you just heal like crazy, so the only thing that you want to do is avoid getting one shot, and you can just tank everything. You can tank multiple bosses and so on. So this passive is just very core of the build. You must get it as soon as you get to high level expedition. So no, I don't want to do that. To show you how it goes, so as I just said, this build is meant to do endgame, so you can do 180 plus. I will just show you this one because it's quicker than the other one, and when you get to late game, it starts to get a bit long to kill the boss. And my stuff is just, well, it's okay, but it's random stuff from 170, so it's not, for example, as I explained, you need the staff with the 3 roll of damage, and you need also rings if you can manage to get rings with critical damage, so you get more damage. I will like a bit of DPS on the 180 expeditions. So basically how it works, you just blink inside the mobs, you pull them, and then you press your buttons. You just roll your head over your keyboard. No. Joke aside, well, this is the idea. So you pull them, you cast your buffers, and you just explode them in the middle of the pool. And as you can see, you can really blink fast. So it's really great to do speed farm. It's great to do pushing. It's great to do, well, whatever you want actually with this build. Okay, I'm gonna check this one. It's also great to play in party because I have like 5, 10, 25 affliction, which means that if you are playing with friends, you can just give them this affliction too, if they are playing cabalists. So it's also good to play with friends. And you can see this boss can be a bit tricky because he does a lot of damage, but I don't take much damage. Even this, I don't have to dodge this, so I can just stay in his damage and kill him. You got so much sustain that you don't need to avoid stuff, except if you get to very late expedition, like 185. We need to dodge just the main attack of the, for example, the boss who is pulling everyone. You need to dodge this if you got to very late, but at this stage you don't need even to dodge it. Okay, so to do faster rifts, I will just skip this one, and you You pull the aggro, and sometimes he follows, sometimes he doesn't, but actually you don't care, you just want to clean as fast as possible. So if he's coming, you can go back to him, as you just got affliction from the mobs that you killed. It's very important that you keep the afflictions right here, because it does 150% damage more, so it's just crazy. It's you need them. Oh, it's tough. That's why it's hard to kill. Okay, I will just go. If you see a boss with a tough mod, you can just ignore them. They are so long to kill. You don't need to bother, and you can go in this and just spam your bottom. You don't need to dodge anything. So as long as you have the bulwark and the solar flare activated, it's really easy to play. You can still play it quite well. It's fun to play at every level, and the great thing is that it's a mage with the staff, so I'm quite happy with how this build went. I made some modification to be sure that in endgame he's okay, and my target was to be at least 150, and in the end it's really awesome, and I didn't expect him to be so much competitive, I would say, compared to other builds, for example, who play on the bleeding edge, which could be stronger. But in the end, you can just do whatever you want with this build. Okay. I will go back to this direction. I wasn't in a good one. Okay, I will check on this one. Just look for, as you got a lot of movement speed, well, not movement speeds, but you got a lot of blinks. You can just go through the map and look for aggro's. You don't need to. For example, this one has a tough modification, so I will just go on the other one. Clean this aggro. He's fine, he's following me, but you really don't care. You can have like three bosses on you, and it doesn't matter. Just start blinking and dodging a bit if if you end up with three bosses. Sorry, but you can manage with this build. The damage you take is just not big, so don't be afraid to pull a lot of boss. Okay, I will go here. I just blink in and okay, boss is up. I will go directly to him. Okay, so this big guy, he usually does a lot of damage. He got powerful mod, so I need to be a bit careful, as powerful mod, he really does a lot of damage, but as you can see, he doesn't one-shot me, so I'm quite fine. I will just spam my spell on him. You just need to be very careful about the bulwark. It's very important that you have it always activated. Well, if you got 100% cooldown, it will for sure help you to be sure that it's always on. And then, as you can see, it's quite easy. I will just proc my okay, come big guys. Ah, he's lame. He's using a pull when I'm not on his side. Hello, I'm here. Look at me. I'm Mr. M6. Look at me. Okay, he doesn't care. Well, the idea is that if it takes too long to kill this boss, well, or any other boss, you can go back and you pull him to the minions. So you got the opportunity to stack the affliction, and then you get the buff, and it will die easier. Especially if you got the tough modifier. This one is quite easy. so I don't need to put him. But if you got the tough modifier and for example life regen, he can be a bit of annoying, so you may need to put him back. You go just in that direction and you put him near to minions, you get the buff from the minions, and then you can just kill him. Okay, I'm out of mana. And he should die peacefully. So that's why I didn't do a 180. The idea is the same. As you can see, he doesn't do a lot of damage, so it's really not the problem with damage, it's just that it's long. Like, you need 10 minutes approximately to do a 180, so it's a bit longer for the video. And that's it. Well, I do hope that you guys enjoyed it and that you managed to understand what I'm saying. If you have any question, feel free to just drop a comment on the YouTube video, and I will for sure reply as soon as possible. And if you like this, please just let me know. If you can like, share, or whatever, just follow us on Twitch or YouTube. And yeah, so I know that you enjoyed it, and it'll let me know that how to say that I want to continue to do some videos, especially in English, which I'm not used to. So thanks again for watching this video, and see you next time, guys.